Can you hear me? You can hear me, right? Please tell me you can hear me. All right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. All right. So this is the last slide, if you recall, right? So we were talking about the purines and pyrimidines, the heterocyclic compounds. Heterocyclic compounds. And I gave you the structure of the purines. You have it, right? Yes, you do. Pyrimidines, yes. Pyrimidines you do not have, but this is the pyrimidines. So please write it down. Let's stop the chatting, huh? Let's keep working. I cannot hear you. I cannot see because the screen. I have a full screen, huh? All right. So this is the purine. And
Professor,
yeah.
I don't think your screen is shared.
Oh, you cannot see it. Thank you. Give me 1 second. Yeah, because you're right. Because I did not put into the what you call the sharing mode. So just 1 second. Please give me 1 second. You're absolutely right. Thank you for letting me know. Yes. Here is the screen share. Thank you. Let's see. Yes, yes. All right. Give me 1 second. Share. Sorry, excuse me. All right. Okay. All right. Now you can see it, right? Yeah. Definitely can see it. All right. So if you recall, all right. So if you recall our first slide, the last time we talked about the purines, right? Last time I talked about the purines, the structure of purines right here. Tell me yes or no. And the nucleotide, the bases which are present in DNA, RNA, there are 5 of them. One is called adenine, second one is guanine, adenine for A, guanine for G. These 2 bases belong to the purine family, the purine backbone. This is the backbone, by the way. And another 3 bases which are present in DNA, RNA is called purine family, the purine backbone. Cytidine for C, right? I see cytosine. Let's put a cytosine, not cytidine. I'll tell you why. It's a cytosine. Cytosine is the C, belongs to the pyrimidine family. Thymine T and uracil U. All right. So DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, right? So DNA has these 3 bases, 4 bases: A, G, C, and T. So DNA has adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine, right? RNA has these 4 bases. Yes, question, keep going. A, G, C. So these 3 are common, right? DNA also has adenine, guanine, cytosine. RNA also has adenine, guanine, cytosine. DNA has thymine and RNA has uracil. So that's the difference between these 2. DNA, so this is the one such component, these called bases. These bases are present in DNA, RNA. And I'll give you one such structure, at least maybe 2, just to show you how they are arranged together. DNA also has sugars. All right? And that sugar, you already know, is the deoxyribose. D-deoxyribose. Everyone okay, right? D-deoxyribose present in, and you already know the structure. We talked about when we talked about the sugars, right? So D-deoxyribose present in DNA, and RNA has the D-ribose. D-ribose. Tell me yes or no, everyone okay, right? So the RNA has D-ribose, DNA has deoxyribose, D-deoxyribose. They are all D. And phosphate group are common. Phosphate groups are common. All right, phosphate groups are common to both. Phosphate, and usually phosphate present, you have a phosphate is present in PO4, right? PO4 3 minus. This also has a phosphate. So these are the components of DNA and RNA. So once again, DNA has a basis AGC or ACG, alphabetical order, and thymine. RNA has ACG and uracil. DNA has deoxyribose, RNA has D-ribose. Phosphates are common. And I'm going to show you at least one how we can combine those adenine, for example. So let's say adenine is, structure of adenine is like this, all right? So adenine is looks like this, all right? Remember, it's a purine base, right? So you have a N, and N. So you can see the backbone, right? There's a backbone. And we have a NH2. This is structure of A, by the way, adenine. All right. So you have a double bond here, double bond there, double bond there, double bond there. And now we have a H here, H. So that's the adenine. And this adenine combines with, let's say for example, it's a D-ribose, all right? We are making the RNA component. And D-ribose looks like this. If you recall our structure of D-ribose, right? OH. If you have any question, let me know, okay? And we have a HO and CH2. I did not write the hydrogens, okay? CH2 and OH. All right. So what will happen? This hydrogen from adenine, that's adenine. That's A. All right. So adenine and the D-ribose, they make the dehydration reaction. Hydrogen from here and hydroxyl group from there, and that makes you the molecule. It looks like this. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to flip this side is this. It doesn't matter, but let's say I'm going to flip it to the other side. Whatever the three-dimensional structure, whatever you write this, and let's say we have a this. I'm going to flip it, like this, and this. So I have N, double bond, NH2. I flipped it. 6-member ring on the right hand side now. It's okay, either way you write. So writing A. And then we have a double bond, another double bond, and this one attached to sugar, attached to the sugar right here. And that sugar looks like is as follows right there. So let's say put this, OH, this is a ribose, right? And if it is deoxyribose, I'll explain to you, the carbon number 2 has the hydrogen. You remember, right? And this is bind to right here. Okay? And then we have a HO, CH2, like this, right? So this molecule was adenine. Please remember, that's the base is called adenine. All right? Once it binds the sugar, plus sugar, right? Plus sugar, this molecule is called adenosine. So name changes, Adenosine. All right, so adenine converted to adenosine because it's added a sugar. Now what happened? You can add the phosphate group. So plus phosphate group, usually in the form of, comes like this way, H2PO4 minus, And what basically happen, you add the phosphate right here. You can write one phosphate, you can write, so number one, you can write one phosphate, number two, you can write another phosphate, and number three, you can put another phosphate. So if you put one phosphate, it will become AMP, adenosine monophosphate, AMP. So one phosphate group right here. So basically, I'm not going to write the whole structure again. So you can go to adenine plus sugar, adenosine plus one phosphate, AMP. If you add another phosphate plus H2PO4, second time, we are adding one at a time, huh? PO4 minus, and that will be our ADP. Remember ATP, right? That's adenosine diphosphate, ADP. If you add the last phosphate, HPO4 or 2 minus, if you add it, and that will become ATP. All right. So everybody okay? So this is the structure of ATP. You have a 3 phosphate right here. 1 phosphate, 2 phosphate, 3 phosphate. That's ATP. That's ATP. Adenosine triphosphate. If you have a 2 phosphate, called adenosine diphosphate. If you have a 3 phosphate, adenosine triphosphate. If you add into 1 phosphate, called adenosine monophosphate. So adenine, adding the sugar, become adenosine. Guanine, when added the sugar, become guanosine, SINE, guanosine. Cytosine, when added the sugar, becomes cytidine. Thymine, when added the sugar, called thymidine. And uracil, when added the sugar, called uridine. And the triphosphate and all those things are same. Yes, someone has a question?
Okay, so I have a question. So when you have like the 1, 2, and 3, and you continue to add like, so I see the first two has 2 hydrogen, right?
So basically, you add this phosphate group right here. Replace the hydrogen and put the phosphate group. For example, I'm going to put it like this here. So P, that's a P, PO3, because you have to add 3 of them, 3 phosphate, and that's a minus. So basically, replace the hydrogen and CH2O PO3 minus. So that's the phosphate group. You can add another one, then put another, add to the phosphate group. It will be diphosphate. You can another one, it will be triphosphate. So keep adding one phosphate. Only 3 of them will be added to the hydroxyl group of the sugar. Yeah. Yes. Questions?
I had a question. So off of what she was just asking, so the phosphate group replaces the hydrogen in the hydroxyl group.
That is correct.
Okay.
So,
and then,
yes.
if you add more than one, does it begin to replace the hydrogens in the CH2?
Okay, so let me show you the one. So let me show you the addition right here. So I'm going to write A. This is A, and let me put it like this way. So let me put it like this, OH, and let's say I'm going to flip it. That's our A. A stands for adenine, and this side we're adding the phosphate. So adding the phosphate, CH2, O, the first phosphate, P, double bond O minus, and then you add another phosphate. So that's so I'm putting the height H will be right here. I'm not going to write it. H will be right there. So this is the monophosphate. That's our AMP. Adenosine monophosphate. There. Then you add another phosphate. We add it right here. P, O, double bond, O minus, and then O. Once again, the hydroxyl group is right here, OH, and that's a diphosphate. That's ADP. Then you add another phosphate right here, P, double bond O minus, and another O minus right here. So this is oxygen, oxygen, O minus. So now this is your ATP. ATP. All right, that's your ATP. So ATP. So basically, you add the phosphate to the phosphate. So first phosphate, you add the hydrogen. Second, you replace another hydrogen with the hydroxyl group right there, another phosphate, and third phosphate, you add that hydroxyl group right there. So that's your ATP. ATP. All right. All right. Similarly, now remember, there's a carbon number 1 is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So phosphate groups are added in the carbon number 5. All right. And as it added, these numbers goes like this way. It's called 5 prime, 4 prime, 3 prime, 2 prime, and 1 prime. That's convention. And as you recall, the carbon number 2, if you have a hydrogen right here, then it will be DATP. Instead of hydroxyl group, if you have a hydrogen, now this will be our DATP. DATP present in DNA, right? So DATP, and DATP stands for deoxy ATP. This is present in DNA, and this ATP present in RNA, because it's a ribose present in RNA and deoxyribose present in DNA. So if you replace the hydroxyl group with hydrogen, or just replace the oxygen, deoxy, remove the oxygen, then it's become a DNA component. Similarly, you can make all of them. We're not going to go there, all those things. You can make the guanidine triphosphate, thymidine triphosphate, uridine triphosphate, cytidine triphosphate. You can make all of them just like using the same kind of principle. All right. So these are the components of the DNA and RNA. So if you look at the next one, so DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. So you have this is the same thing I just told you. So basically summarize. So we have a DATP, so deoxyadenosine triphosphate. We also have a DCTP, alphabetical order, deoxycytidine triphosphate. Next one is the DGTP, deoxyguanidine triphosphate. We can also have the last one is DTTP, deoxythymidine triphosphate. So as you can see, TP, they're all common, right? Only thing is changing is A, C, G, and T. So then you can put a conventional is DMP, DNMNTP. N stands for adenine, cytosine, guanine, and thymidine. All right. So so you can just this abbreviation, and D indicates the deoxy. Similarly, you can also do here. You can have a ATP, because there's no deoxy, it's a ribose. So you can have ATP, CTP, you can have GTP, alphabetical order. So adenosine triphosphate, cytidine triphosphate, guanidine triphosphate, and UTP, uridine triphosphate. So that's why you can also write that in general NTP, because TP is constant, right? Triphosphate, all of them common, and N indicates adenine, A, cytidine, C, guanidine, G, and uracil, U. All right. So once again, as I showed you earlier, sugar plus base is make the nucleoside. Adenine, if you have a ribose plus adenine, adenosine, right? Adenosine, and nucleoside plus phosphate, you have they call nucleotides, and nucleotides are the building blocks of the nucleic acid. And what do? They go through the polymerization reactions. So this is the same thing I just showed you earlier. You don't have to go there. Yes. Questions? Now.
Can you go back a slide? Sorry.
Sure. So DNA has DATP, DCTP, DGTP, DTTP. RNA has ATP, CTP, GTP, and UTP. So if I ask you, and I will probably, right, what's the difference between the DNA and RNA? There are two things are different. DNA has thymidine, T. RNA has uracil. DNA has deoxyribose sugar, RNA has ribose, D-ribose. So that's the only two subtle differences between the RNA and DNA. Are you done? Yes? All right. So let's go now. These components, the DNA, RNA component, the nucleotides, are the building blocks of DNA and RNA. So if we do the reaction, I'm not going to show the chemical reactions. Just I'm going to show you only the chemical reaction just in abbreviated form. For example, to make the DNA, we can use the DNTPs, and that N could be A, right? C, G, and T. We can take many of those. That's DNTPs. So DNTPs plus magnesium 2 plus, that's ion is required for the reaction. Magnesium 2 plus DNA polymerase plus DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase is the enzyme that will make the polymerization reactions. So polymerase, DNA polymerase. So that's the reaction. So DNTP plus magnesium 2 plus DNA polymerase, that will make you DNA. That's to make the DNA. You don't have to know the chemical reaction. I showed you the protein, but we don't have much time to do that. So that's why DNA, so DNTPs plus magnesium 2 plus DNA polymerase makes the DNA. All right, and RNA and the RNA. So NTPs. All right. Once again, N is your A, right? C, G, S, and U, uracil. So NTP plus magnesium 2 plus, questions, magnesium 2 plus RNA polymerase. So DNA polymerase makes the DNA. Polymerase is the enzyme. All right, polymerase is the enzyme. RNA polymerase makes the RNA. RNA makes the RNA polymerase. Poly means more, right? Merase means enzyme. So basically, it's polymer reactions. So NTP plus magnesium 2 plus the RNA makes the makes it RNA. Makes the RNA. Now you can say, when do you see these reactions? This reaction, DNA synthesis reaction, you see during the replication. So during replication, so when one cell become 2, during replication of cell, replication of DNA, during replication, you see these kind of reactions. All right. Basically, when cells divide into 1 to 2, then you see the DNA polymerase reactions. And when do you see this RNA polymerase reaction to make RNA? Is during transcription. So during transcription, you know, the replication is the synthesis of DNA, and transcription is the conversion of DNA into, so transcription, okay? Transcription is the process, cellular process, when DNA makes the RNA. All right. Now, when the DNA is synthesized, DNA could be 3 different types. So types of DNA has 3 different types. One DNA called aDNA. Just write down the type of DNA. aDNA, bDNA, bDNA, and zDNA. There is no cDNA, huh? zDNA. So DNA are 3 different types, and A is artificial DNA. B is all organisms have B type of DNA. So bDNA present in all organisms. So naturally occurring DNA is the bDNA. All organisms. All right. So all organisms have a bDNA. So cDNA is artificial, the structures are different. And basically, the bDNA is present in all organisms. So once again, and DNTPs plus magnesium 2 plus DNA polymerase makes the DNA. That happens during the replication. When cells are dividing one cell to two, during the cell division, that's a DNA has to one copy of DNA converted to two copies, and that's why we get one cell to two cells, right? If you have a 23 pairs of chromosomes, it will be 46 pairs of chromosomes and divided by two. That's why you have two cells. DNA are two types of DNA: aDNA, bDNA, and zDNA. bDNA is the present in all naturally occurring organisms, all in present in nature. aDNA is artificial DNA, bDNA, zDNA is the also artificial. It is a different structural motifs. So the structure of DNA, DNA once it is synthesized, it creates a structure. That's a protein, right? So structure of DNA is basically like this. It is a double helical. Number one, DNA is a double stranded. DNA is a double stranded. That's a structure, huh? Double stranded. So DNA is a double stranded, and it's a helical, and it is antiparallel. So these are the characteristics of the DNA structure, okay? Antiparallel. And I'll show you I'll give you a structure within a minute. Parallel. Yes?
I just had a quick question.
Go ahead.
So when you say NTP, does the N mean nucleotide?
N is a nucleotide, and N abbreviates the adenine, cytosine, guanine, and thymine. So basically, N could be a combination of A, C, G, or T. N is a nucleotide, yes, NTP, nucleotide triphosphate, that's fine. But specifically, A could be ATP, DATP, DCTP, DGTP, and DTTP. Yes. And so DNA is a double stranded, helical, and antiparallel. So it looks like this. So let's say I'm going to write the structure, just draw it. It's a helical, right? That's a helical. It's a helical structure like this. And it also goes like this. All right. So it has a antiparallel. Why it's antiparallel? Because remember the 5 prime, 3 prime. So it goes like a 5 prime to 5 prime to 3 prime. 5 prime to 3 prime is the direction of the DNA, and other strand become 3 prime to 5 prime. 3 prime to 5 prime. So two different strands are to opposite sides, and what you have here is a helical, right? It's a double stranded, helical, and antiparallel. So if you have a for example, A, opposite side of the strand must have a T, and they make a 2 hydrogen bonds right there. This is not equal sign, it's a 2 hydrogen bond. Similarly, if you have a C in the other side, in the other strand must have G. G will have a 3 hydrogen bonds. So A makes 2 hydrogen bonds with a T, G makes 3 hydrogen bonds with a C, and similarly, let's say if you have a G here, other side must have a C. It makes a 3 hydrogen bonds. I'm just showing only few, right? If you have a T, for example, right here, let's say T, you must have a in the other side. So basically, A makes A base pair with a T, or T base pair with A, G base pair with C, or vice versa. So that's a DNA structure, and that's why the two strands are holding it together. You can go on like this, right? RNA, the structure of RNA is during the transcription, right? So basically, DNA is converted to RNA during the transcription. So basically, if you have, let's say, DNA with the help of RNA polymerase, it will make the RNA. All right? RNA are 3 different types. 3 different types of RNA, mainly. There are many other types of there for higher organisms. Like DNA has 3 different types. RNA is also 3 different types of RNA. One is called mRNA, Who can tell me what the mRNA stands for? Let's see how far you know.
Messenger RNA.
Thank you. So this is called messenger RNA. M stands for messenger RNA. Other one is called tRNA. What the tRNA stands for?
Isn't it like
tRNA?
Transfer RNA.
That is correct. That is transfer RNA. Very good. And last one is lowercase r RNA. What's the lowercase r RNA? Yeah, ribosomal RNA. So messenger RNA, tRNA, and ribosomal RNA. So basically what happened, tRNA, this basically carries the amino acids. It carries the amino acid, AA. You know the amino acid, right? We talked about 22 of them, huh? Amino acids. So tRNA carries the amino acids, and that's called transport. It transports the amino acid from the tRNA, and it recognizes the codon. And mRNA basically decodes. It means the codon. Codon is a 3 nucleotide. 3 nucleotide is a trinucleotide. Makes the one codon, and each codon signifies one amino acid, AA. So tRNAs have the anticodon. tRNA have anticodon, and codon and anticodon they recognize, and they transport the amino acids. So that's why the amino acid combine, and as the amino acid 1, amino acid 2 combine, you make the peptide, the protein. You make the protein. All right. Now, in order to make the protein, you cannot make it in the open air or inside the cell. It has to have some sort of platform, and ribosomal RNA provides the platform. It provides the platform. So basically, tRNA, messenger RNA, everything goes inside the ribosome. It's called platform. So ribosome creates the platform. All right, it's a platform. All right, ribosome creates the platform, and mRNA brings the codons. Right, it brings the codons. Codons are the triplet nucleotides, and they correspond to particular amino acids. tRNA basically brings the amino acid, and they combine together to make the proteins. So basically, what you have, if you have a ribosome looks like this, for example, that's a ribosome, and you get the messenger RNA. Messenger RNA comes like this way. All right, that's a 5' to 3'. That's a messenger RNA. All right, and tRNA brings the amino acids. So tRNA brings the amino acid. AA1, that's the first amino acid, that's a tRNA. Another second tRNA brings the amino acid A2, and then they combine. They basically make these two together. So make the chemical reaction. Remember the peptide reaction that I showed you? They basically make the reaction, and it continues like this. And after continuing, so you'll have AA1, right? AA1, AA2, peptide bond, right? Remember the peptide bond I showed you earlier? AA3, and up to like this way, you can go to AAN, and that's basically the protein. So this is called protein synthesis. So mRNA is making that this is a protein. All right, that's a protein. All right, protein. So once again, the function of mRNA is bringing the codons corresponding to the anticodon present in tRNA. tRNA brings the amino acid, first amino acid, second amino acid, third amino acid, and it goes on and on and on. When the first and second combines, the tRNA lifts the amino acid there to second tRNA and leaves it without amino acid. Another tRNA will come in, bring the AA3, and then the second one will leave, and the third one will stay. Another tRNA will come and combine the AA1, AA2, AA3, AA4, and the third tRNA leaves. It goes like this way. So this is a platform for the protein synthesis. Any questions? So these are the, so basically DNA makes the RNA, and RNA makes the protein. DNA makes the RNA, and RNA makes the protein. All right. This is known as central dogma. Central dogma. It's an old central dogma. So DNA makes the RNA, RNA makes the protein. And now the new central dogma, RNA can also make the DNA. So DNA makes the RNA, RNA makes the protein called central dogma, old central dogma, new central dogma. RNA can also make the DNA. All right. So this RNA makes the DNA, DNA makes the RNA. It's reversible, and RNA makes the protein only. So that's a new central dogma. Any questions? Does anyone have any questions? Yes? Any questions? So that's basically our new central dogma. All right. So as a new central dogma is the old central dogma is the DNA. So DNA makes the RNA. All right. And RNA makes the protein. We talked about, right? RNA makes the protein. And that's our old central. And also DNA replicates to DNA. DNA is replicating to DNA. DNA is making DNA. DNA making RNA. RNA making protein. That's our old central dogma. Old 1950s. Nowadays, after 1970s, it is also found that RNA can also make the DNA. So it's reversible. And that is our new central dogma. New central dogma. Anyone has any questions? Yes? All right. If not, I have nothing much to say. But these are all basically the DNA replication. I told you when the DNA makes the one copy of DNA, makes the two copies called DNA replication. So basically, let's say if you have a DNA, for example, right? So DNA replication, it looks like this. So you have a DNA. DNA is a helical, right? Let's write it like a helical, and you have like this. Let's say 5 prime to 3 prime, and 3 prime to 5 prime. All right, that's the direction of the DNA. And during the replication, this will convert to like this. Like this, plus one copy will make it 2 copies. All right. 23 pair of chromosomes will make 46 pairs of chromosomes. So basically, and that's our DNA replication. So one copy makes the 2 copy, and this is done by the DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase is an enzyme. All right. DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase is the enzyme that uses the DNTPs, DNT and Ps, plus the magnesium, magnesium 2 plus. All right, Mg, okay, Mg 2 plus, magnesium 2 plus NTPs, DNTPs, and DNA polymerase makes the 1 copy of DNA to 1 copy of RNA. One copy of DNA makes 2 copies. 23 pairs of chromosomes makes 46 pairs of chromosomes. DNA transcription goes, the direction remains the same, right? 5 prime to 3 prime and 3 prime to 5 prime. This is the direction of the DNA. Likewise, you can also have a 3 prime to 5 prime and 5 prime to 3 prime. All right, so that's a DNA replication. DNA transcription is done by the this. Let's say this is our DNA, for example, and DNA is a double stranded, right? DNA is double stranded, and RNA polymerase and it uses the NTP, right? Magnesium, same thing, magnesium 2 plus NTP. N could be A, C, G, and U, NTPs, right? NTPs, and RNA polymerase, and it will make the, let's say it's a 5 prime, for example, let's say it's a 5 prime to 3 prime and 3 prime to 5 prime. That's the DNA, and it will read the sequence from here, and it will make this RNA is like this way. All right, RNA is a single stranded. RNA structure of RNA is a single stranded, 3 prime to 5 prime to 3 prime. And after that, RNA, as you probably saw earlier, with the help of ribosome plus tRNA which brings the amino acids, right? tRNA, and you make the protein. The translation makes the protein. All right. Protein will be having, let's say, H to N terminal to C terminal. So that's a protein. That's mRNA. That's a translation. All right. So this is important. These are the 3 important cellular processes, but I give you very briefly, of course. So DNA replication is DNA makes the DNA. DNA transcription, the RNA polymerase basically makes the DNA, right? So RNA polymerase makes the DNA to RNA, and mRNA, specifically mRNA, if it is mRNA, right? Let's assume it's a mRNA, messenger RNA, basically with the help of ribosome. That's a ribosome. All right. Ribosome basically acts like a platform. So let's say ribosome and tRNA. This is RNA. tRNA brings the amino acid N. N could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many depending on amino acid. So the tRNA brings the amino acid using the ribosome as a platform. Messenger RNA is converted into protein, and ultimately this protein goes to the cells and give the function, right? It could be enzymes, could be any other proteins. We talked about some of those, and it gives the function. All right, so that's basically the cellular events, and that's our whole thing that we wanted to talk about for this class. And if you have any questions, I'm all yours. Okay, all yours.
Can you go back a slide real fast?
Sure. This one?
Yes. So that's the right.
Yes.
So that's the central dogma, and that's the new one. But the old one, they just had DNA makes DNA, and then RNA, and that was it, correct?
So the old one, DNA. So this is the new one. Let me write down. We have time. Okay. So let's see. This is the new one, and the old one looks like this. So old one, DNA makes the RNA. And RNA makes the protein. RNA makes protein. And DNA also makes the DNA. So when DNA makes the DNA, 1 copy of DNA becomes 2 copy of DNA, and that's a replication, right? So that's basically our replication. You saw the replication, right? Yeah, that's the replication. So DNA makes the DNA 1 copy to 2 copy, and that's our DNA is a replication. That's the DNA replication. And then when DNA makes the RNA, it's a transcription. This is transcription. DNA to RNA conversion, right? It's a transcription. And when RNA makes the protein, it's called translation. Is a translation. So this is the old central dogma given in 1950s, early 1950s, 1955, 56, after the discovery of the DNA structure. So that's the old central dogma. And the new central dogma, everything almost the same. Only thing, RNA can be converted to DNA. So the DNA to DNA is a DNA replication, right? DNA to RNA transcription. So what do you call when RNA goes to DNA? It's called reverse transcription. It's a reverse, right? Opposite, right? So reverse transcription. So when RNA makes the DNA, it goes to the reverse transcription, and that's a new central dogma. Yeah, question.
Can you go back to the very last slide?
All right. So just wait once again. Someone asked a question about central dogma. Is it okay?
Yes.
All right. Next one is this is one. So as I told you, the transcription DNA makes the DNA replication makes the one copy of DNA to two copies of DNA, and it is done by the DNA polymerase, the enzyme. It uses the DNTPs and the magnesium 2+. Then one copy of DNA makes the two copies of DNA. If you have 23 pairs of chromosomes, and when the cells divide, it makes the 46 pairs of chromosomes, and it is given to two cells, right? DNA transcription is a conversion of DNA to RNA by the enzyme. It's called RNA polymerase. RNA polymerase, polymerase, and it uses the NTPs. NTPs could be ATP, CTP, GTP, and UTP. Magnesium 2+ is always required for the activity of the RNA polymerase, and it makes a single-stranded DNA. Single-stranded RNA. Single-stranded RNA, it could be mRNA, it could be tRNA, it could be ribosomal RNA, right? And that's basically the mRNA. If it is mRNA, messenger RNA, it basically brings the information for the protein coding amino acids. So using the ribosomes, the platform, and the tRNA, which brings the amino acid, we can make the protein. We can make the protein. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, I had a question.
Yeah.
So the composition of deoxyribonucleic acid is the deoxyribose, the base, and then the phosphate. But with the phosphate, you said there could be like 1, 2, or 3 phosphates. Like
That is correct.
what? So the triphosphate is found in our DNA, right?
When they combine, they make the like this kind of reactions. Basically, the triphosphate. What basically happened? Let me show you. So they remove the pyrophosphate. Remember, 2 phosphates are removed. So in DNA, basically what you have. Let me give you some one reactions. For example, let's say you have ATP, DATP, and there is a phosphate group in between, and then you have a G, then another phosphate, then you have a C, another phosphate, then you have a T. So that's the DNA. That's the DNA structure. So only 1 phosphate remains and 2 phosphates are removed. But when they come the reaction, it comes as a TTP, triphosphate. So DNA polymerase remove those 2 phosphates and join them together. For example, DATP, let's say this is D stands for the DNA, right? So if it is DATP, the 2 phosphates are removed by the DNA polymerase and added to the G. Then when G added to the C, 2 phosphates are removed, pyrophosphate, PPI, and then it binds to the C, and it goes on and on like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they come as a triphosphate. Triphosphate is the substrate, and then when they join, 1 phosphate stays and 2 phosphates are out.
Okay, so what's the application of the diphosphate then?
So application of the diphosphate is nothing. Basically, it is basically helping the linkage, to make the linkage from the nucleotide to nucleotide is basically helping because it has the energy inside. And those pyrophosphate, the ATP, as you remember, ATP, once you add the water, you get plenty of energy, right? So when the ATP and they hydrolyze 2 phosphate from the NTPs, they give plenty of energy, and that is driving force to make the DNA polymer, DNA, and same thing RNA also. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so basically we need to know like pre-reaction it's a triphosphate, but in like the actual DNA like application wise it's a monophosphate.
That's right. That is correct. That is
Awesome,
correct.
Thank you.
Yeah. And same thing here also RNA. Since you asked the question, very important question, very nice. And that is it is also happened for the EA. When the DNA makes the RNA, it also removes the pyrophosphate. Because it comes as the NTP, triphosphate, and 2 phosphates are gone, and then the linkage will be like this way, right? A, for example, A linked with a C, linked with a not D. This is not D because it's a RNA. Linked with a G, and then P, and then it's linked to the U. There's no T here. There's no T. because T is present only in DNA and it is present in present in RNA. Yeah. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right. If not, that's basically I had